Unit 6. Recording 1. Lesson 6A. Exercise 1.
Leisure time. Holidays in the UK. Are you taking a tent, staying in a country cottage, or relaxing in a 5-star hotel? Make sure you read our traveller's tips.
I'm not sure about the weather. What clothes should I pack?
You don't say when you are going, but you can be sure the weather will be different every day. It'll probably rain, so take an umbrella and take some comfortable shoes for sightseeing. In the summer, you'll need sunglasses and sun cream, but take a jumper too, because it might not be very warm in the evenings. In the winter, you might have sunny days, but it will be cold and it may even snow. It sounds boring, but British people love talking about the weather. Conversations often include phrases like, "It's a lovely day, isn't it?" Or even, "Nice weather for ducks." So, if you want to start a conversation, there's always something to discuss.
My family and I are staying in a B&B. What will the food be like?
B&B means bed and breakfast. You won't get lunch or an evening meal, but you'll enjoy a good breakfast, usually a choice between continental or full English. You certainly won't be hungry after a full English of eggs, sausages, beans, tomatoes and mushrooms, as well as toast and marmalade. A lot of cafes offer all-day breakfast on their menus. As well as the eggs, sausages, etc., look out for something called bubble and squeak. It's fried cabbage and mashed potato.
Unit 6. Recording 2. Lesson 6A. Exercise 3B.
B&B, bed and breakfast. Campsite. Caravan. Cottage. Self-catering flat. Hostel. Hotel. Motorhome. Tent. Villa.
Unit 6. Recording 3. Lesson 6A. Exercise 5.
J. Leisure. Sh. Shoes.
5A.
J. Leisure. Usually. Television. Sh. Shoes. Shore. Prediction.
5B.
Shore. Usually. English. Casual. Measure. Mushroom. Special. Station. Cash. Machine. Unusual.
5C. 1.
I'm sure Josh sells mushrooms for cash.
2.
We usually watch television in our leisure time.
3.
Let's get some cash from the machine at the station.
Unit 6. Recording 4. Lesson 6A. Exercise 7.
Don't forget to pack your passport. Remember, we won't have much time in the morning.
It's okay, I won't forget it.
And make sure you set your alarm. I'll do it for you if you like.
Don't worry. There's no need. I'll set it in a minute.
Unit 6. Recording 5. Lesson 6B. Exercise 1.
What time's Martin coming?
He'll be here at 4, unless he gets lost again.
Unlikely, but not impossible knowing him. Right, who else shall we invite to his surprise party?
What about his friend, Sophie?
Why? Is she coming over from the States? I didn't know that.
Yes, she is, but I'm not sure when exactly. She'll probably come when her school breaks up.
Well, if she's here for his birthday, we'll invite her, obviously.
Oh no! That's him! He's 20 minutes early. That's a bit inconvenient. Hi! Come on up! Quick, hide the list or he'll see it as soon as he walks in. Hi! How are you doing?
Hey guys! What's up? You look a bit uncomfortable, Jody. Are you okay?
Unit 6. Recording 6. Lesson 6B. Exercise 5A. 1,
Likely. Unlikely.
2,
Convenient. Inconvenient.
3.
Possible. Impossible.
Unit 6. Recording 7. Lesson 6B. Exercise 5B. 1,
Unlikely.
2,
Inconvenient.
3,
Impossible.
4,
Unattractive.
5,
Uncomfortable.
6,
Independent.
7,
Inexperienced.
8,
Unfit.
9,
Informal.
10,
Unfriendly.
11,
Unhappy.
12,
Unhealthy.
13,
Uninteresting.
14,
Unkind.
15,
Unnecessary.
16,
Impatient.
17,
Unpleasant.
18,
Impolite.
19,
Unpopular.
20,
Impractical.
21,
Untidy.
22.
Unusual.
Unit 6. Recording 8. Lesson 6C. Exercise 2.
Stranger Than Fiction. The amazing story of James and James. Identical twins look and often behave exactly the same. It's not surprising. They share the same genes and they grow up together. But what happens when they're separated and lose touch? When he was 9, James Lewis discovered he had an identical twin. Different families had adopted the babies when they were 1 month old. The hospital hadn't told them their new sons were twins. 30 years later, James managed to find his brother. Amazingly, they had grown up only 45 miles apart. James's brother was also called James. But that was just the first of many weird coincidences. When they finally met, these are some of the things they discovered. Both men had married women called Linda. Both men had then got divorced and had married women called Betty. One man had named his son James Allen. The other had named his son James Allen. James Lewis had once owned a dog called Toy, and his brother had given his dog the same name. Both men had worked at a petrol station and a burger bar. They had had the same illnesses, and they had gained and lost weight at the same points in their lives. They enjoyed the same sports and hobbies, drove the same kind of car, and went on holiday to the same place. Remember, the two men hadn't met before. Was it all chance? Or had the brothers communicated in some strange way before they met? Nobody really understands it.
Unit 6. Recording 9. Lesson 6C. Exercise 5.
Lose a match. Lose interest. Lose sight of something. Lose touch with someone. Lose weight. Lose your memory. Lose your temper. Lose your way.
Unit 6. Recording 10. Lesson 6C. Exercise 8. 1.
A few years ago, a 22-year-old man called Rob Jones took part in the London Marathon. He'd never run a marathon before, but he had trained hard and he was well prepared. He was very excited as he joined hundreds of other athletes at the start line. A huge crowd was lining the streets. Rob looked for his family, but he couldn't see them. He knew they were there somewhere, his mum, his dad, and his 8-year-old sister Jenny, but it was impossible to find them in the crowd. Oh well, he thought, I'd like a picture of this crowd anyway. It's amazing. He took a little camera from his pocket, held it up to the crowd, and took a photo.
2.
While Rob was preparing to start his race, his family were trying to get to the front of the crowd. It was no good. There were far too many people. Oh well, said Mr. Jones, let's get a picture anyway. It's amazing. He lifted Jenny up onto his shoulders and she took a photo with her father's camera.
3.
About 5 hours later, Rob crossed the finishing line. He'd done it. He posed for photos and then went home to recover and to celebrate with his proud family. A few days after that, Rob remembered the photos he'd taken. He looked on his camera and found them. Imagine his surprise when he saw a photo of his sister Jenny. She was sitting on their dad's shoulders and holding a camera. He'd taken a photo of her completely by chance.
4.
That isn't the end of the story. You've probably guessed the rest. When Rob's family checked the photos that Jenny had taken, there was Rob. He was right in the middle of the picture, holding up his camera.
Unit 6. Recording 12. Lesson 6D. Exercise 6A.
Harry, what's going on? Is everything okay? I saw you talking to Don just now. You looked very serious.
We were talking about the fire.
I thought so, Harry. I've been feeling so bad about that.
No need. It wasn't your fault. It just happened. Anyway, it's sorted now.
When did you tell him?
I didn't tell him.
You didn't?
No.
I don't get it. What happened then?
I couldn't think what to do, and in the end I phoned my parents. I needed some advice, you know, from people who know all the facts.
Oh, good idea. They know Don's parents, don't they?
Yes, they do. Anyway, my mum and dad knew about the fire, of course. Don's parents decided not to tell him. They didn't want him to worry.
That's what you guessed, right?
Right. Anyway, Dad went round to Don's house and spoke to his parents. They decided to phone Don and tell him. So that's what they did. His mum phoned him about an hour ago.
Oh, right. So how's Don?
He was quite shocked. But he's fine now. He knows his family are all okay, and they'll soon sort out the shop.
So he doesn't want to go home?
No, he doesn't. He's going to stay here. We're going home in 3 days' time anyway. Everything's cool. We can all stop worrying and have some fun.
Good idea. Come on, let's get ready for some more skiing.
Unit 6. Recording 13. Language revision.
Grammar. Exercise 1.
1,
We might, go skiing.
2,
It won't be cold, it's always hot there.
3,
You might, need a jacket in the evening. Sometimes it's cold.
4,
We might not, may not, see anything at the top of the mountain. Sometimes it's cloudy. Exercise 2.
1,
When everybody arrives, we'll start dinner.
2,
When school finishes, we'll go to the shopping centre.
3,
He'll get here on time unless he misses the train.
4,
Will you tell Tom the news when you see him? Exercise 3.
1,
She hadn't had any lunch.
2,
I hadn't realised the time.
3,
Was your friend upset because you had forgotten her birthday?
4,
They had worked really hard. Vocabulary. Exercise 4.
1,
Go.
2,
Campsite.
3,
Tent.
4,
Caravan.
5,
Motorhome. Exercise 5. 1. F. 2. D. 3. C. 4. A. 5. E. Exercise 6.
1,
Don't be impatient.
2,
She's very independent.
3,
I'm really unfit.
4,
He's too inexperienced. Phrases and use your English. Exercise 7.
1,
That's her.
2,
Quick,
3,
come,
4,
on.
5,
Who else? Exercise 8. 2. Be, shall. 3. E, would. 4. A, if. 5. D.
Unit 6. Recording 14. Skills revision. Exercise 3. 1,
It was small inside, and we weren't able to do anything there, only sleep and cook. It had a small door and 4 windows. We parked the car outside. There was more space in the car. Mum said that we're going to stay in a hotel next year.
2.
It was okay. We were right in the middle of the countryside. We were able to go rock climbing and walking in the mountains, which was good. But because of the rain, which was really heavy, we couldn't leave the tent for a few days. Don't forget to pack a raincoat if you decide to go there.
3.
We were able to visit all the sites, the museum and the cathedral because we were in the city centre. The place we stayed at was good, but the restaurant was expensive. My friend Barbara had been there the year before, so we decided to do the same.
4.
As soon as we arrived, we loved the place. It was beautiful, old, made of stone, and in the middle of the countryside. Park House was built in the 18th century for a very rich family. Today, there are 60 guest rooms and it's run by a travel company.
5.
We wanted an adventure, so Mum and Dad decided that a holiday by car was best. That way we could drive to a different place every day. We stayed in a different B&B every night. Because they are run by families, they don't have restaurants, but we had some delicious cooked breakfasts. Some of the families were unfriendly, and some of the houses untidy. It was a real adventure.